Good morning to you all. Good morning. Emmanuel Bri from Ghana National Fire Service. Thank you. Emmanuel Bri from Ghana National Fire Service. And I really thank you for inviting me to educate you on fire. You know, we have different kind of fires. But first of all, I want to ask, what is fire? I'm asking you, we are all learning, we are coming to discuss. Because all of us, we know what fire is. So I'm asking, what is fire? Or you can say your mind. Fire is fire. Okay. Fire is you want to say something? Okay. Fire is a chemical combination of three elements. That is heat, oxygen, and fuel. Heat, oxygen, and fuel. These three things, anywhere you see fire, this three things is what is burning as you see as fire. Without one, there's no fire. The fuel I'm talking about is not the one at the filling station that you know. Even if you go there and ask them you want to buy fuel, they'll ask you to specify. You have gas, you have petrol, kerosene, and all that. Tap in time, they are all fuel. But with that, that's not only the fuel that we are talking about. It means anything that can burn. Anything that can burn is termed as fuel. So when we come to the heat, heat is the normal heat that we all experience, like from the sunshine or electricity. The current that flowing through is also produces heat. So any form of heat that is generated by any other source, that's what we are terming as heat. When you talk about the oxygen, the normal air you breathe inside, that's the oxygen. You have different kind of air, but not all air that allow fire to flame up. It's only oxygen that allows. Okay, so when you talk about these three things, that's the fuel, oxygen, and heat, how do you take them out when there's fire? And I made mention that when you take one out, there won't be fire. And before you go to that side, I would like also to take you to classes of fires. I said earlier when we have different kinds of fires. One, we have class A fires. We have class B fires, class C fires, and class D fires. Normally, we add E to it because of electrical fire. But the moment there's light out and then let's say there's light here, this fan catches fire and is burning. The moment you take off the meter, it becomes normal fire. It's either class A fire or D fire. You understand me? Yes, depending on the thing that is burning. That's why you can classify it. Class A fires are fires that involve in solid combustible materials. Example, wood, paper, like the PC, rubber, as you know. And class B fires are fires that involve in liquid petroleums. That is turpentine, kerosene, petrol, those things. Yes, even oil, the cooking oil that you eat, they are also flammable, part of it. Okay, and class C fires are the liquid petroleum gas. That's the gas we use at home. Or lithium, they are also a form of gas. Calcium, they are also, sulfur, they are also a form of gas that they do burn. Class D fires are fires that involve in metals like sodium, potassium. Those are also form of metals that they burn. So these fires, we have a method in which we use to extinguish them. And the method of extinguishing fires are three. One, we have starvation. Two, we have smothering. Three, we have cooling. So the four classes of fires that I mentioned, if you want to add the E to it, making it 5, we have method of extinguishing them. You cannot just see fire, example like petrol on the ground, and you use ordinary water to extinguish it. The moment you put the water is rather going to add up for it to flame more, because the water will tend to be a combustible material like 3rd June circle. It was fuel, which is petrol and how do you call it? No, it's petrol and diesel that they were selling there. So when the density of water is heavier than those things, that fuel, oil, tap and time, density of water is heavier than it. So the moment the water enters inside, the fuel rather came up and it started burning. There was a lot of water there, but it wasn't extinguishing. So this one, you need to get something that would rather be on top of the fuel, so that it will do what? It will stop air from entering. So now you start with the smoothing. That is the one method, as I mentioned 3 methods: cooling, smoothing, and starvation. So we are starting with the smoothing. So the smoothing is a process whereby you take off oxygen from fire, and the moment you cease oxygen, there won't be any fire again. As I mentioned earlier on, when you take one element out, there won't be fire. So smoothing is a method of taking off oxygen from fire, and the fire will cease. Way of taking off oxygen, that's what I started by saying. You need to get something that will be on top of the fire. That is, if oil, gas, so oil, petrol, they are burning. The moment you see them burning, if it's on the floor small, that one you can even use something to heat it. You beat it up, it might go off. But if it is burning and it's plenty, you do something or here, it's covered here, don't use water. You need to use foam. That's why you have different kinds of fire extinguisher. You have foam, water, helium, carbon dioxide, then CO2. Sorry, CO2 is the carbon dioxide, then dry chemical powder. That's the one that you are using here. That's the dry chemical powder. So if you want to extinguish those kind of fires, when you go there, the moment you see it, one, don't panic. If you want to extinguish fire, the moment you see the fire, don't panic. If you panic, the idea that you use to extinguish it alone will vanish. You getting yourself together and get a zeal to fight it, you will even scatter the things for you to get extra combustible materials to do what? To make it burn high. So what you have to do first, be at a safer place, take your extinguisher. One, it's petrol that's here and it is burning. So what should I do? Fine. One, make sure you take off oxygen, as I said. So you pick your extinguisher, or in a local way. Let's say you don't have extinguisher, you use soap water. The soap water that we all know that when fire is burning, pour water on it, soapy water on it. It's not the soapy water that's making it better, rather the foam on it, the bubbles that you can see. You know, bubble. There's no way air can pass through bubbles. So what you have to do is you just do soapy, make sure the foam comes plenty. So the moment you pour on it, the water within it will sink, the bubbles will be on the surface of the fire or the petrol, whatever is burning. Automatically, it will cease oxygen from entering, so it will stop. I repeat, the moment you pour soapy water, the foam on it will be on top of it. Automatically, it will do what? It will cease, because it will not get oxygen to support the burning. That's why some people ask fire service, do we have some chemical in our appliance? No, we don't have. What you do is you use foam concentrate. It is normal water, pipe water that you use. The normal water you all know that you use to fight fire. But when you go there, depending the type of fire that we are going to do what? Extinguish. That's why we will mix foam concentrate. We call it foam concentrate to create more bubbles. You can create bubbles to cover the whole room. So automatically air will not go inside and it will do what? It will go off. That's what we do. Okay. So you wanted to ask something, right?
When fire is flaring, the combustion is very high, and you are saying we should put water to stop oxygen.
Yeah.
But in science to oxygen, even water, oxygen is 78%.
Okay.
So when definitely, but what cannot only stop that because oxygen is very low. Water.
All right.
So how do you stop it?
Okay. Next question. I made mention that the moment you pour water on it, the water will sink. Density of water is heavier than petrol, kerosene, oil. So it will sink and it will go down. So the bubbles will come up. You understand? There's no oxygen in the bubble. It's just other nitrogen, or nitrogen is what we use to we put inside balloons, those things. You understand? Yes. So it will be on top of it, and automatically oxygen cannot pass through. It's like a balloon and you put nitrogen inside or put air inside. There's no way any other oxygen or any other air can go inside. Do you get me? Yes. So that's how it is. So automatically it will not go inside, and the fire will cease. We have a different kind of air, and those kind of air that we know, they all not support burning. It's only oxygen that support burning. I hope you get me. Yes. So we move to cooling. That's another method of extinguishing fire. That is cooling. Cooling is a method in which we use ordinary water to take heat out from water. To take heat out from fire. When you see fire burning, the three combustible heat, oxygen, and fuel, these three things. One, we have taken off oxygen. That is by using smoothing method. Two, we are going to take off heat. That is if the three are involved and they are burning. We are going to take off one. That is by using a method of cooling. In this case, method of cooling, when you want to use it, it is not when there's petrol or tap in time. No, it is when there's wooden structures, papers, when they involve in fire and you want to extinguish it, you need to use cooling, just ordinary water to extinguish it. Though you can use soapy water to do it all right, it will go off because of the water inside. But don't worry yourself, just use ordinary water to extinguish it. That is, if you don't have any oil matter inside or kerosene petrol inside, just use it and it will go off. One, when you are taking off heat from this three thing that is burning, automatically you are stopping. One, if this is the combustible material, which is the fuel, it is burning. You can see the flame. It is the oxygen that makes you see the flame in the air. You can heat up without the oxygen, it will never burn. You can never even see it. So it's the oxygen that supports you for you to see the flame in the air burning. Okay. So as it's burning, there's also heat that we call it. It takes chemical reaction. There's heat. If you off the fan and everything, there will be heat here. This one will be here, and oxygen will be here. And somebody will ask, why is that fire will not come? It is because the temperature of everything that's here is different. You understand? If you light, this one is combustible material. This one is also combustible material. If I light matches to this one and I light matches to this one will burn faster than this one. So this tells you that there's a heating capacity for everything that we see here. You understand? So the moment we off everything here and we start be inside, we will be inside for an hour and we realize that the heat intent here is going up. But I saw you, that's the reason why sometimes you have to use smoke detectors when you are in the kitchen and all that. especially heat detector for the kitchen is heat detector. When you are using them, the more the place is heating up, then it is beeping up from 76 degrees upwards. It will start beeping, telling you that the temperature within the place is too high, that it's about to turn what? Fire. So it will start beeping up to just alert you. Do you get me? So the three things are there. The one, it takes chemical reaction of the heat to take place before it starts burning. Example, like this one, no, there's a current flowing through, all right. If you use sockets on wall and you are ironing, sometimes you see that the socket starts burning. Or if you have extension board, you realize that the moment you put the socket inside the extension board and you start ironing, it will start burning. It is not because it's fake. Some are better than others, but because of the wire within it, the energy that the iron needs, so it will put more current from the light through the extension board than the one that is on the socket. And the extension board cannot take that current that the iron needs to do what? To work. So automatically it will start heating up and it is burning. So that process is what we call it chemical reaction. The chemical reaction is taking place, and because the iron cannot, the extension board cannot do it, cannot contain the excess energy that the iron needs. So it will start burning up. You understand me? Yes, that's how I mean. So the moment you pour water on it, you have taken off heat, and automatically it will go off. The moment there's somebody be like, you feel so good, not because you feel so good, no, you are taking some reactions out of it. That is the heat aspect. You are taking the heat aspect out of it. That's why it's off. The third one is starvation. Starvation means taking off the burning items from the unburnt one, or the unburnt one from the burning items. Let's say this is what is burning. It is here. This is combustible material. This is also combustible material. So the moment this one catches fire, the first thing you have to do is take the one that is burning off the one that's not burning, or the one that's not burning from the one that is burning. It's two things, because this one might be hotter that you cannot touch it. So then try your best and push the one that is not burning, so that you can get access to attack the one that is burning. If it's possible, you can take it outside so that attack it. Another way is by beating it. You can use things to beat it. The more you are beating it, you are stopping oxygen from what? Entering. The thing will be hot, all right. The combustible material is there, all right. But because you are distracting the oxygen, it will automatically do what? To go off. And another way of starvation is when it is bushfire and you are in the bush and you are working and there's fire and it is coming. You just go and get a place, you dig or you weed, so that the fire will not get access. It's just eat what it gets. Since it's combustible, it will just be eating them. So when you weed it through the line and the direction that is the wind is blowing it to, automatically when you get there, it will not get any other combustible material to burn, so it will cease. So starvation has about 3 ways of extinguishing fire. That's taking the burning items from the unburnt one, or the unburnt one from the burning items, or beating it, or weeding if it is bushfire, weeding to create barrier for the fire not to exceed to the other side. And when you talk about fire, coming to, and before we go to the extinguisher that we use, we have stages of fires. And the stages of fire is 4. 1, initial stage or incipient stage. 2. Growth stage. 3. Developed stage or fully developed stage. 4. Decay stage. These are 4 stages of fires. And fire extinguisher is used to fight initial fire only. When it is growth stage, you cannot go close to the fire. Except more hands. You are trying your best to extinguish it. Some are using water, some are using extinguishers and all that. But if it is you alone, you cannot use one extinguisher when the fire gets to its growth stage. The heat alone cannot let you stand. You will burn. When we talk about initial stage is where fire starts. The beginning of the fire. That's where you have the ability to do or to fight it as every individual. You should know how to fight fire. Every individual, I repeat, you should know how to fight fire because it is very important. What I said all, it means wherever you find yourself, there's fire. Since there's combustible material, since there's oxygen, since there's heat, there is fire everywhere. It is because chemical reaction has not taken place. That is why you don't experience the fire. But if chemical reaction take place, you experience fire unexpectedly or expected. It can be home, it can be with your car, it can be your motorbike, wherever you find yourself. There's always fire. Okay. So in the okay. Yes. Okay, so as I said, you can use sun to also extinguish fire. Sun also stops oxygen from entering. You know, as my brother said, the Chaco people, they use sun to prepare charcoal, but they don't use the sun to cover all. If they use the sun to cover all, automatically it will go off. They leave some hoses so that the oxygen can penetrate to burn it. Small, but because there's the sun on it, it will not burn to ashes. That's where we get our charcoal from. Yes, but if you want to extinguish it, you use the sun to cover everything. So to stop oxygen from entering, automatically it will go off. So you can use sun to extinguish fire. Even if it is transformer and it is burning, you can just put sun on it. If you don't have any other means, just be putting sun on it plenty. Just call people, be putting sun before you realize, then it's off. And afterwards, make sure you call ECG. Don't just put it off and leave it. No. Because if the heat is within, it can still be hot to the extent that it will cake the sun, and at the end of the day, it will split and it start burning again. So call ECG so that they will do what? They will come in and do whatever they have to do. Initial stage, everybody should know how to handle it, home, wherever you find yourself. Second, the growth stage. The growth stage is where now you couldn't able to handle the initial stage. Now it has developed to catch up with so many combustible materials within a place. Now that side is very dangerous and risky because it will heat up the whole room or the whole scene where the fire is. When it is heating up the place and you did not take it and try to be like, I have left my phone inside, I have left something inside, so I want to go and take it. If you did not take it, you will die. One, the reason is when it is heating up the place, now this one started, it catches this one small, it went to this one small. The more it is traveling, the more the combustible materials are also heating up. The source will be hotter than the new one that it has gotten to. So when it gets to, it catches many of it, it will heat up the whole place. When you heat up the whole place, it is not going to catch it one after the other again. it will know everything that we use here there's a little moist within the things that we use here. This paper, if you light matches to it, it will not just light wood at once. No, it will start be like it will be crumpled. The moist within it has to heat up for it to go out before it will do what it will get to its chemical reaction to start burning. Do you get me? So that's what the fire will do at its growth stage. It will heat up the whole place. So you don't know, and it will be like, oh, the fire is just within this size, so I'm trying to go here to pick my phone. Before I realize, then we call it flashback. Flashback is flashover. Flashover is where the whole place will catch fire at once, and you are inside, and automatically you die. If you save yourself and you go out, you might be disabled, or your face, you cannot even, you yourself, you regret because of phone. You understand? So that one, the moment you couldn't handle the initial stage, and the moment there's fire and you realize that the source that the fire is coming from is too high, the first thing you have to do is you call fire service. Sometimes it could be just paper. You can pour water on it, or you can just beat it, then it will go off. But sometimes the source that is coming from, if you can't handle it, as you are trying your best to extinguish it, then you let somebody else to do what call fire service, so that it will not be like you call them and they didn't come early. No, you don't have something like you call them and they didn't come early. One, because you don't know where our fire stations are. You get there. Okay, so that's the growth stage. If you don't take care, you be inside and you be trapped by seeing flash over the whole place and you burn. And that will take you to fully developed stage. And that fully developed stage is the hottest phase of fire. That one, no matter who you are, you cannot extinguish it until it eats what it wants. It finishes it. You cannot stand it. The hottest phase of fire is fully developed. You understand? Yes. So that side, you need fire service to come in, or external stuff that they can use machine or something that will pump water from afar to the fire scene, so that they can do what they can extinguish it. From there, then you move to decay stage. Decay stage is where all the things has now burned to other ashes, or to each stage where it's supposed to be, where it can no longer be combustible material, or the hotness of the fire, can no more burn. Okay. What is next is the extinguisher. But before I go to the extinguisher, I will take you to your home and open all your windows. Then go and sit outside and wait small. The ventilation within it will take place. Then everything will do what? Will go out. So it is best for you to use cylinders outside. And the small cylinder that they are putting something on it, you know, they have their burner direct to it. Some used to ride banku, some used to ride prepare banquine, those kind of things. It is the riskiest part of it. That's when it comes to gas. It's the riskiest part of it, because if cylinder cannot go closer to stove, then how come it is direct that you are using it? A lot of people do that mistake, but they don't think of it. They feel like that one is meant for just as you are done cooking, you just want to heat it up, maybe the next morning or other stuff, then you just use it, heat it up. But people don't do it that way. They rather ride banku on the prepare banku. One day you will die. That one, if you explode, you will die.
You will die.
Because the pressure that is pumped inside the cylinder is not easy. Even this one has 14 bar. When you talk 14 bar of pressure, it is not easy, my brother. Even if you go to fire scene and we give you 5 bar, to hold it, for that pressure to come out, you fall down. 5 bar, you fall down. So how much more? 14 bar within this one. So sometimes some people use, you have this 1.5 I don't know whether inch of the wire and 2.5 mm or something like that. Yes, those things, if you have any other faulty at where you live, if the house is not built by you and you want an electrician to come and check it, please make sure the electrician buys the exact wire there they used to wire the house. Otherwise, if you go and let's say 2.5 mm and you buy 1.5, you burn the place, because the energy that will pass through the 2.5 to the 1.5 is very higher than, as you know, dry chemical powder. Of course, this one, as I said earlier, used to fight initial fire. When you want to use it, one, when the fire is burning, you don't just take this one, then you go and start using it because you can see fire. No. You try your best to know the seat of the fire. When fire is burning, the flame of the fire direction is by wind. So you can see the direction going to this side or going this way. Don't face it. If it's going to this direction, don't be like, there's no space for me to stand here or here. So you are going before the fire where the direction is. No, you burn yourself. Because the moment you press it for it to extinguish it, the air that is directing into it, you are trying to push it forcefully. So automatically, the natural air will push the fire towards you. You understand? So be behind it or beside it before you do it. You press it to extinguish because the pressure coming out too is high. Okay. So one, make sure you watch the base of the fire. Don't just be like the flame. So since the flame is going, you just put the extinguisher on the flame. No, there's nothing inside the flame. It is the exact thing that is burning.
Please, what you just explained, explain it in our local language for us.
Okay.
The one you get there.
Okay. So eja share. Who's a rule and a money direction, and from a money direction, then they call say and as say. On one doesn't mean man whole direction. Now, all fighting fire now, make sure say, all extinguisher no. And as I say, what the year day, what we join to the goose no more at the Codina ash Nankasangasa, or no man so the a January day, a gusso. Put the goose in near the Ebedu, because a woman a man who is a head. But just what you say. Aha. And so who could join a direction and say, oh, fight, see, if you want man who do the life, that direction now, a conny say, and a conny say now. With the movement of the near extinguisher Nagasani. Only near grass here, and I also so day, information pure affairs for the other, and the opposite. Automatically, one has a word to announce that until if a man in the bed, about one has another side, ashy. When you want to fight it, you stand this way. When you pick it this way, you stand this way. You cannot just stand this way, go there. No, the place might be sleepy. You can, this one, it can leave your hand and fall on your leg. When you are standing this way, it will fall on your leg. So the best thing that you have to do, you stand this way. One, it also helps you in case the fire turns, because the wind can turn the fire direction to you. So when you stand this way, you have full support. Either you go this way or you move this way. It's two things. If this one leave your hand, it will then be on the ground, it will not hurt you. And if you are standing this way and you want to save yourself, your knee can hit it and you rock. You cannot move again. So best thing you have to do is stand this way, you hold it, you aim at the seat of the fire, then you do what? You squeeze it. But before then, you do what? You take off this. It's just a seal. You tear it off. you pull your safety pin. This is the pin. This is what's not allowing you to press it. So the moment you pull it off and hold this way, you are good to go. And when you are going to pick it, make sure you stand at a safer place, while you know that in case of anything, you can save yourself. Because it is fire. You don't know, as it is burning, you don't know the next combustible material that is going to attach to. That maybe it will flame very higher, that it will come to where you are and you cannot save yourself. So make sure you are at a safer place. One, you take off your seal, your safety pin, then you pull it. When you put it down this way and you want to pick it, since you have taken off this, don't hold this way. Otherwise, you press it. Meanwhile, you've not gotten to where you want to fight the fire. So hold it this way. Take it, then you hold this way. Then you move to where the fire is. So when you get there, before you do what, you press it. You aim, then you press it. Hope you understand.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll end it here. This one is just the surface.